Hey,
Hello. Yeah. Can you give me a quick overview of your chosen evangelistic task?
yeah, my chosen evangelistic task was a print with flowers surrounding the corners of it and all the vines connected in the middle to create a cross. And on the back of it, I would write about how the flowers can connect both Hinduism and Christianity as they both a major part in the creation story. And then I would also have the verse John 13:34 on the back of it and give it to people and ask them how they um feel about the message and can they think of any connections between Hinduism and Christianity.
Okay. And can you give me some context on foreign missionaries' approach with Hinduism practically?
Yeah, they go to foreign countries such as India and Asia to help and support those who may be in smaller churches and are trying to find a way to reach out to people or people maybe in the Dalit, which is like the lowest caste, and help them know that there's a better way of in that's outside of the caste system, so that they're not so persecuted. They do this by showing them support and giving them maybe a thing of the gospel in a language that they'll understand, and maybe be able to give them a bit of support so that they'll know that they're safe when they're there.
Okay. And can you describe that approach theologically?
Yeah, a couple of the theological approaches that some foreign missionaries use are correlational and applicationist, um, but which Bosch explains in his book. An example for this is Send International, whose mission is to mobilize God's people and engage the unreached in order to establish reproducing churches. They do this by getting alongside maybe um, some small church leaders or people in like small groups so that they'll be able to give them the right resources and equipment that they'll need and just spread God's love to people who may have never heard of the gospel before.
Okay. And how does this all work?
It works in a couple of different ways. Maybe there's sometimes there's some short term missionaries who are only there for like a couple of weeks or maybe a month at a time, or maybe there's like long term missionaries who are there for a good few years. Sometimes they don't leave; they just stay there. Um, when during their time there, they'll learn about the culture and the best way to reach the people and in showing God's love to them and having resources that they'll be able to understand. Wax explains that often short-term teams minister as much, if not more, to the missionary as to the people, so that they're all getting connected to each other and building up a relationship. Alongside Wax, who but also um, agrees about the positives of short-term mission by saying how it develops a deeper understanding of cultures and a greater awareness of people, and they just show God's love to them through just getting alongside them and showing how they can experience God in different ways. And they maybe create like some sort of uh, some sort of church service or small community group that people will be able to go to.
Okay. And how does this foreign missionary fail?
It fails when a missionary may not have enough training or understanding of the cultures that they are going into, which may cause the missionaries a bit of confusion. And they may not be able to get across the message of the gospel to the people they're trying to reach because they don't know what's going on. This may cause conflict, and people may end up so going, I don't want to talk to you because you don't understand what's going on. And then Kanjamala explains about the violence against Christian missionaries in India in the past, where unfortunately some missionaries were killed and sent away because they weren't welcome. There could also be a danger to some Hindus whose families aren't accepting of the Christian faith, maybe because of not knowing enough about it or being afraid that they'll be put down into a different caste system. So for the member of the family who decides I'm going to become a Christian or is exploring Christianity, they may be excommunicated or in some cases be killed because they're looking at the Christian faith. Alongside this, because some missionaries are only there for a short time, they may not have enough resources to give to people, so that when they leave, people are still going, well, I don't know what I'm actually meant to do now. So they'll end up not being able to do anything because they have no clue what they're actually meant to do. Also, not a lot of people go to some countries because they get scared, or some churches can't afford to send people there, so they won't go. And then if they do go, they'll only have like a small amount of money, which will get them a bit scared. Yeah. Also, Bernard talks about how Western missionaries were seen as the lower caste. Well, they still are seen as the lowest caste because they're from outside of India, which scares a lot of people. Well, yeah, scares a lot of people who are sort of going, I don't want to be in a lower caste, so I'm not going to talk to you.
Mhm. So how can foreign missionaries talking to Hindus be better adapted or made better?
It could be better adapted by making sure that people have a good understanding before they go to India and other countries where the majority of people aren't Christian. They're either Hindus or Muslim, and having a open mind before they go there and not wanting to go, oh, I need to go in there and change everything. But it's just accepting that they have a different culture than you do and not going in there with like a Western viewpoint. So going, well, if you're doing that, why are you doing that? But instead of just loving them where they are and just getting alongside them in any way that they can. Also, making sure that God is in the middle of it. Otherwise, it's not going to work because you're like, without God in the center of it, the plan is just going to fail because you can't really do mission without God, because that's the whole point of going into a different country, is to spread the gospel. So if you don't have God, you can't really be spreading the gospel. Also making sure that you have enough finances before you go to a country so that you're not stuck there, and that you'll be able to come back and have at least a thing that people can go to or read or watch before that you leave, so that they'll have enough resources to continue growing in their faith in a safe place where they'll be able to feel welcome.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.